YouTube, welcome to my channel. On this week's video, I will be conducting an interview on 3 very successful franchise owners from my hometown, Norwalk, Iowa.
Please state your name and the franchise you own.
My name is Jackson and I chose to team up with Tropical Snow and open my own tropical snow stand in Norwalk, Iowa.
List the reasons for wanting to obtain this franchise.
My main reason was how much I loved tropical snow when I was growing up as a little kid. I mean, every summer I would always go there about every day, and I always chose shaved ice over any ice cream, and I just loved it when I was little. My second reason would be it was always been my dream to own a business, and I know it's a franchise, but Tropical Snow gives you a really good deal where it gives you a lot of freedom to input what you want, so it's pretty much like owning your own business. Also, I chose Tropical Snow because it's a very simple system. Tropical Snow licensed dealers to use the Tropical Snow's name and logo in their business. In return, the dealer agrees to use the Tropical Snow products exclusively and promote the Tropical Snow brand. And the good thing about Tropical Snow is they do not charge any fees, royalties, or blue sky to get started. The other reason would be it's very easy to obtain a Tropical Snow license. If you want to become a snow cone dealer, all you have to do is go online to their website and you fill out a short Google form, and then they'll email you with your license. And also, the last thing is Tropical Snow. I know it's small, but it's actually really profitable. The majority of the dealers spend about $20,000 to $30,000 to get the business started, but you can buy a Tropical Snow push cart package for as low as like $7,000, and a simple startup package contains everything you need with machines, coolers, TVs, flavors, spoons, everything. And yeah, that's about it.
What are the pros and cons of franchising?
I would say the pro of going into a franchise is that you don't need all the business experience to run a franchise. Franchise usually provide the training you need to operate their business model. Also, franchises have a higher rate of success than just a regular startup business. And also the finance for franchising is actually cheaper than to start your own business. And some cons of franchising would be there are usually restrictions on where you can operate, the products you can sell, and so you have limitations what you can do. Another one would be buying franchise means ongoing sharing of profit with the franchising. Good thing with the Tropical Snow stand that they do not make you pay a fee or anything. They just want you to promote their business. And my last con would be franchisors do not have to renew an agreement at the end of the franchise term. So if you're not doing a good job and they don't like you, they can just cut you off.
How will you make your franchise successful?
I think I will make my franchise successful with the attitude I bring towards it. I have a fun, energetic attitude, which will help a lot, and also I'm really good with the social media, and I would really advertise hard on social media by creating Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and just getting the word out that we have a new Tropical Snow stand in Norwalk, and just trying to get kids and people to come out to it.
What is the one biggest advantage and disadvantage of being a part of a franchise?
I think the biggest advantage would be the franchises have a reputation of what to do. They know what works because they're still around, and they're like getting more people to own franchises, so they know how to make a franchise successful, and if you follow their steps then you should be fine. And you also have ongoing support from your franchise because they obviously want to see you succeed. Probably the one disadvantage would be buying a franchise means you're entering into a formal agreement with your franchisor, which means they can opt out or do whatever they want. And also, franchise agreements dictate how you run your business, so there's little room for creativity. You can't add your own flair to my tropical snow stand. It's just going to look like every other tropical snow stand.
What is your realistic plan for financing the franchise?
For financing, I went ahead and ordered a tropical snow stand online, and they have these all over the internet. And the one that I got was $23,650, and it's a great deal because it comes with all this stuff, from flavor packs to the snow cone machine and menu boards and advertisement from 5,000 spoons and 6,000 cups. So it comes with everything that you need. And also, for my location of my business, I went ahead and talked to my church, the Methodist church behind Fairway, and talked to them about letting me use their parking lot as a space during the summer, and that's free because the pastor loves me. Also, I went ahead and bought two three-piece folding benches, which that comes out to about $340. So overall, my business startup is about $24,000. And for pricing goes, I'm going to have a small, medium, large for snow cones. Small is $1.25, medium is $1.50, large is $2. And then if you want a spill-proof cup, it's an extra 50 cents. So.
Hello, sir. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, hold on. What's up?
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Aj Jax and Nick. What's up?
And the franchise you've chosen to operate with.
Bebops. What's up?
What are some of the reasons for wanting to obtain this franchise?
The quality has always been phenomenal every time I've gone. The location is all Midwest, so you kind of have that at-home feel. It's very easy to promote. There's even people in our hometown starting to promote Bebops. We have a lot of huge fans, Mr. W, Mr. Gavin, and then the food industry is always very easy to jump right into if you're just wanting to own a franchise or kind of get into that whole franchise business.
What are the pros and cons of franchising?
Franchising opposed to a startup business often saves more money and a lot of the time that you'll need to put in for a startup business. Franchising will save you all that. The franchise usually will already have a lot of the guidelines set for you of what you need to do, where for a startup, you need to come up with all that on your own. More times than not, by owning a franchise, you will get your money back in the first year, if not two, where for a startup, you'll have a ton of debt. They'll provide all the advertising already, and the promotions will already be set up for you. Cons, however, you'll not have as much creativity as you would for your own startup. And there already is a few Bebops close to us, so if you do want to put one in Norwalk, let's say, you're going to have a lot of near competition, and that might be as hard for you to strive and prosper. But if you were to expand to somewhere where you don't have one within, quite a few miles, then it might be easy, but you need to make sure that the location has a lot of population there for you. I end that there.
How will you make this franchise successful?
One of the first things I would do is take over social media. Already in Norwalk, there's a Twitter page ran by some of the students there and followed by close to 200 people, and if we could get that expanded to other cities, there'd be a lot more promotion going on in advertising, and I would make an Instagram, do whatever I needed to get our company out there. And the attitude I would have would just be to know that there's always better out there. Another thing I would do is I would definitely get that personal relationship with the customers. So every time they come in, I would let them feel more at home and do everything in my power to want them to come back and let them know that they're always welcome. And that kind of goes along with the Bebops feel that the gourmet burgers kind of let you feel like you aren't at a fast food restaurant. You're a step above McDonald's, you're a step above Burger King. You get that fresh feeling. And that's something that I would definitely try and implement throughout all the Bebops franchises if I could, is fresh, is let the customers feel that it is a better alternative than the other fast food burger restaurants and all that. Another thing I would do is try and incorporate the triple cheese eating contest in more schools, just another way for me to advertise. There'd be some health factors that I'd have to run by the government probably. But besides that, I would definitely do everything I could. It's just another way for me to promote my business more.
What do you think is one advantage and one disadvantage of franchising a Bebops?
The biggest advantage would be you don't need any background history of owning a franchise. You don't need to know even how to run a company. You just need to have the money to be able to provide for the startup of the franchise of a new one, which is definitely a huge pro. The biggest con is that in a franchise, you don't really own the franchise, you just own a company or a building that the franchise already has. And that definitely has the lack of creativity that you normally have if you were to have your startup business. Yeah, that's good.
What is your realistic plan for financing this franchise?
I just talked to Mr. Andrews, and he said that he would come up with the first $420,000 needed for like the down payment, and that's what it costs to own the franchise, one of the buildings. And after that, you know, all the expenses are just kind of thrown into that with the food, which the franchise will already have. Bebops already has that money set aside for each individual location. And besides that, I think Mr. Andrews said he'd cover everything. You know, wages, I wouldn't hire that many people. Mr. Andrews said he'd cover all the shifts. Miss Albert said that, you know, she'd be in there too, so I don't really need to worry about all that. Well, take a video. Look at this. Show Jackson, he's pretty cute. There you go. So, honestly, thank you all. Mr. Andrews, Miss Albert, you guys are phenomenal. I love you. I know I'm getting this A. I had this all set aside the first day you gave it to us, so no procrastination at all. I love you all. Last but not least, what's up?
And introduce yourself.
My name is Nicholas Bruner.
And what franchise have you chosen to operate with?
Laser Car Wash.
List the reasons for wanting to obtain this franchise.
Well, ever since I was a little boy, I just dreamed of owning my own laser car wash. I used to go in there with my mom and dad and just sit in the car and watch it get washed and all the beautiful colors that we saw. And you know, it's very easy to maintain. Me and maybe another person would be the only ones working there. So yeah, it's been a dream.
What
Are
the
pros, cons
of
franchising?
People know the brand. When you see laser car washes, you know you're going to get the best car wash in the universe.
Amen.
A con would be it doesn't leave very much room for creativity. You can't do anything because it's their brand. You can't like tamper with it or anything. So that would be the con.
Will
you
make
your
franchise
successful?
We're going to do a lot of promotion on social media, and every car wash comes with a free air freshener. And on Tuesdays from 4 to 6 p.m., the Norwalk Girls dance team will come in, and they're going to be giving out car washes.
Ooh. Do
you
think
is
the
one
biggest
advantage
and
disadvantage
of
being
a
part
of
a
franchise?
Well, one big advantage would be that it costs less to enter a franchise than it is to start your own business. However, one disadvantage I think would be buying a franchise means you're entering into a formal agreement with the franchisor, and that means ongoing sharing of profits with that franchisor.
Show me your realistic plan for financing your franchise.
Well, as some of you might know, the Norwalk Car Wash is steadily going out of business, and I plan to take advantage of that in opening up my laser car wash right there, and maybe bringing in some new features that Laser Car Wash has to offer. And I think that'll be very successful here in Norwalk.
Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Come back next week.
Oh,
What's up?
didn't see you there. What's up?
Drops.